And I think he must have known that they were bringing it in and something about impregnation. So anyway, I go up and meet them. I said, actually, guys, the real reason I'm here is because I want to start bringing cocaine in myself. We want to narrow the number of people down that we're selling to minimise the risk, bring in as much as we can, upscale it at the other end, narrow it down here, upscale it there. And they're like, yeah, you're making sense. As it happens, we're already bringing coke into the country. And I was like, really? Great. No wonder it's so good. We're bringing it in, impregnated in rubber, in tents. And I was like, this is just destiny. First one we buy, we put 5 kilos of coke into a tent, into the ground sheet. And it looks a bit like the rubber of an inner tube of a bicycle. You know, like that sort of thickness of the inner tube. A bit like this. I'll lift it up. Much the same as that thickness, but a bit thinner than that.
And that's all cocaine?
Yeah. So we'd get panels like this, and we'd stick it into the floor of the tent, glue that down, and then put the next layer of the ground sheet down, like the bit that you sleep on, the inner bit. So it's in between. They were manufactured in Colombia, and we would then... I did the first one because I wanted to make sure it came in.
You trafficked the first one?
I trafficked the first one. So I didn't want to start sending people to do something I hadn't done already. So I went out there, probably shouldn't have done, because I nearly got arrested coming back.
What happened?
So the first one we do out of Ecuador because it's close to Cali. And the guy from Cali had links to people in Quito. He had a network in Quito. So I fly out there with KLM through Holland, get to Quito, get to this like compound. There's this big metal gate, slides back. I mean, it's about 10 feet high. Walk in, slides shut again. I'm like, right, I'm in it now. Maybe I'm not coming out. It gets out this big tent. And I thought, I need to be sure that the cocaine's in this before I fly back. Because if I fly back and then discover the cocaine's not in it, they could say, no, you switched the tent. So I said, as best I could in sign language and broken Spanish, cocaine in the tent, plastic, can I taste it? Because I know it's going to make my mouth go really numb. And he was like, he looked at me, he was like, yeah, okay. So he's unrolled the tent, unpacked it, unrolled it, slit like the corner of the ground sheet, pulled out like that, the corner of the rubber, and I've chewed it like that. And my mouth has gone so numb I can hardly talk. I'm like the man from Del Monte says yes, but can't speak. So I get to the airport in Quito, and I bought loads of gifts for my family. Totally forgot about the luggage allowance. The tent weighed about 30 or 40 kilos on its own. I think it was about 40. So there, right before the KLM desk and the check-in desk, they're like, you've got to lose some of this weight. You can't come on the plane. I'm like, well, I need to come on the plane. I have to. And they said, well, why don't you get rid of that tent? And I'm like, I can't. I can't. I said, oh, look, I'll get rid of some of these gifts. And so there I am, right before the KLM desk, running around to the shops and the restaurants, giving all this shit away to people that are working there. And they just think it's Christmas. Apart from the people at the KLM desk, that you think this is a drug trafficker. Sure enough, they're right. They get me on the plane, and I get to Holland, because you have to transit through Holland, and there's a row of drug agents there, plain clothes. Everybody has to go past one of the officers. And I'm at the back of one of these lines, and one of the officers looks down the line like this, sees me, turns to his mates and goes, points at me, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay, I'm getting stopped. Because bear in mind, I've not long been out of prison in Britain. I'm on my own, single male, all these little signs that they look for. And I get to the front of the queue and they say, right, can you come with us? We've got a few questions for you. They get me into an office and they say, what have you been doing? Where have you been? Why have you been in Ecuador? And I said, well, look, I love archaeology. I've been there on holiday. This is where I have all these brochures and shit. I'm thinking any minute now, they're going to pull this tent out from behind the chair or wherever, or someone's going to walk into the room and go, bang! And what's this? It didn't appear because I checked it into the hold. And what saved me was, because this rubber thing was all new to them at this time, they weren't looking for it.